Hello there.
Well, hello, beautiful.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to an exciting episode of Fandom Fights. Final semifinals match of the WOAT tournament with one arm tied. Though starting in the semifinals, everyone got their arms back because it's just a singles tournament. Which again, I said it in the last one with Rue and Tyler. It just shows you that our top tier singles players are on a whole other level this year, and these two guys are no exception. We have the number 4 single seed of this tournament, Thomas Scully, former teams champion, former two-time teams champion, former singles champion, Hall of Famer, all the accolades. And we have the number 1 single seed, Joe Farrelly. Very similar accolades just this year, quite frankly. But both have been on a tear. It's Scully's comeback year. He took some time off. He's back, and he has shown everyone that from the beginning of the year, he is now back to form. And Joe has showed everyone that he has not dropped at all. So it's the 5th time these guys are playing throughout their career. I'm excited to see what happens. Hopefully you are too. Let's see how the players are feeling in the promos.
Yeah, I think we really kind of ruined WOAT for Nick and Tim because it was, one arm tied. How can the singles players do? And we just, the 4 of us, just wiped the floor with our teams, or with our teams. Sorry, guys, but we're down to the final 4. Horrible joke. I just hope this goes better than my last semifinal matchup where I played like crap, and my last match against Joe where I played like utter crap. So either way, it's going to be an historical day, win or lose. So let's play.
Here we go again.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. I feel in good form. I've managed to get the studying I wanted to do done. Yeah. I gotta get to the end of this. I gotta do it. I know we're not teammates anymore, but Robert, you hurt David, and that hurts me. And that's my motivation going forward. I don't want to look too far ahead, but I got some serious motivation going into this.
Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, again, as usual, I'm just here for moral support. So let's go. Let's do this.
And I appreciate it.
I missed Scully's joke. I bet it was funny, but I like looked away for a second. Then I came back as he said, that was a horrible joke. But I bet it wasn't. I bet it was very funny. I'm excited. A lot of history between these two guys. Just to add a little bit more, they just played in the finals of the regular singles tournament that happened in the summer. Great match there. Both of them had fantastic performances throughout. And both of them had to beat a team to get to where they are today. Joe also had to beat Javi in round 2, but Scully has played against 2 of the highest ranked teams that were in this tournament and beat them to get here. So both in tip-top shape. I'm excited to see how they do. Hopefully you are too. Let's start with round number 1. Round number 1 is going to work like this. There's going to be 10 questions in the round of Fandom Fights. Each player is going to have 15 seconds to write down their answer. At the end of 15 seconds, we'll say pens down, at which point the players will reveal their answer and say it aloud. Each correct answer is worth 1 point apiece. Should any individual player get all 10 questions correct in round number 1, they would receive a bonus question. Each player will have 3 repeats, 1 challenge for the entirety of the match. Players, any questions as we get into round number 1?
I have a Final Four shirt.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay,
let's do it.
Great. It was a visual. I should have been looking. All right. All right, your first question is going to come in the category of epic adventures. Who plays Indy's former colleague Harold Oxley in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? Anna, could I have my water? Thank you. Not to drink. I just wanted it next to me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Joe.
John Hurt.
And Scully.
Ow, that John hurt.
Oh, you got a bunch of them today. All right. Here's the 1-1. Your second question comes in the category of Pixar. What number does Lightning McQueen wear as a racer in the Cars franchise? You don't know this? Yeah. Wow, look at you. Okay.
Man.
Yeah, she didn't even pay attention when we watched those movies. So that's kind of crazy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Scully
95.
and Joe.
What a way to make a living. 95.
95.
We're
Both of
here
you.
always.
Yeah.
2-2. Your third question comes in the category of DreamWorks animation. Which DreamWorks film features a mind control helmet that allows a character to control certain animals? Now I will take some more. It's been a long day. It's been a long week. Fun fact, this is a Friday. I usually shoot these on Fridays, but we're winding down. But this is what I look like at the end of a work week. It's not pretty. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Joe
Take a mind.
and Scully.
It's wrong. I said over the hedge.
Both, unfortunately, incorrect. We're looking for the bad guys.
Oh,
Bad
yeah.
guys. All right. Your next question will come in the category of Law and Order. Which 2 ammo members are revealed to be in a relationship in Bad Boys Ride or Die? Oh, we're gonna watch this series. You're gonna like it. Bad Boys. They sing that song in the movies. Oh, that's a good joke because we just asked about the bad guys and now these are bad boys. Very, very good. Very clever, Anna. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Scully.
I don't remember all the names, but I think one of them's Kelly. I just said Mac for the other one.
And Joe.
Yeah, and I had the other one, Zorn and Vicky.
Almost. Kelly and Dorn
Dorn.
were the correct answers. So both missing. Still 2-2. As we get to the next question, in the category of James Bond. In Goldfinger, Oddjob kills the mobster Mr. Solo and then disposes of his body. How specifically? We recently... Actually, maybe I shouldn't talk about that. I'll tell you on the next question. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be like, Nick, you could have talked about that, but I don't want to. You'll see. You'll see in the future. It's gonna be crazy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Joe.
Happy 60th anniversary, Goldfinger. Crushes the car it's in.
And Scully.
Yeah, I don't remember the machine name, but leaves his car to get crushed and broken down.
I can take both those answers. That's correct. Putting a car crusher. So yeah, 3-3. As we move to the next question in the category of horror icons. What is the name of the girl who is set up as Shelley's blind date in Friday the 13th, Part 3? She left. She might have known this. So anyway, what I was going to talk about is that we recently moved and we now have a natural gas like stove. Actually, I don't know if it's natural, but it's a gas stove. And so when you turn it on, Anna's using it right now. When you turn it on, it kind of smells. And I was like, oh man, gas. But then I stopped myself because I was like, wait, what if they think like the body burned up or something like that? So I was like, I'll talk about it next time, which I know is dumb. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Scully.
Every Wacko name just ran through my head in about 20 seconds. Vicky.
And Joe.
Terry.
Both incorrect. Similar syllables going on. Vera is the correct
Vera.
answer.
I knew it started with a V.
Yeah.
I thought it started with T.
Still tied 3-3 as we get to the next question in the category of DC. Who directed the Lego Batman movie? Dollars for donuts. This might be the best Batman movie. I don't know what dollars for donuts means, but I think it means that, like, I'm right on this. Do you know what dollars for donuts means?
What?
5, 4, 3, no, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Joe
Don't get the first name muddled up with the other one. Chris McKay.
and Scully.
Chris McKay.
Okay. I thought you. All right. Chris McKay is correct. Still tied 4-4. As we get to the next question in the category of Worlds of DC. Which Worlds of DC film features a resource called orichalcum? Dude, how do you not? We're screwed. We're never winning a team's title. Now that you don't know it, get out of here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Scully
Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
and Joe.
Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. No, you did not. Is correct. Still tied 5-5. As we get to the penultimate question in the category of creature features. What is Mayor Vaughn's first name in Jaws?
Do you know how many times I wrote the word orichalcum while taking notes for that damn movie? I don't think I'll ever forget.
I watched that movie once, and then I watched
That
it
might
the
be the
second
only
time.
thing I
And on the second
remember
time-
about that movie is orichalcum.
on the second time, they said orichalcum, and I was like, I remember nothing about this
And
from
the
the
20
first time
minutes
I
where it
watched
turns into Kong Skull Island just out of the blue.
it. Yeah, literally. 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Joe
Larry.
and Scully.
Larry.
Larry is correct. We are still keeping pace 6-6 as we get to the final question, which comes in the category of Criminal Underworld. In Fast 5, the team is able to get Reyes's handprint from what specific article of Giselle's clothing? I love how Javi plays along backstage.
I think any manager does. Well,
He's
I
like holding his board up too, like
I don't do that.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Start with Scully
Oh, I think I said underpants.
and Joe.
I got the right SpongeBob answer. Bikini bottoms.
Bikini bottom is
Yeah.
correct. I think that's we'll have to
Josh's
take
one
that
is
on order.
yeah,
Bathing suit we would have probably taken also, but yes, her bathing suit, her bikini bottom is correct. So Joe will grab the 1-point lead at the end of round number 1. It is 7-6, but anything can happen as we get into round number 2. Here's how round number 2 is going to work. It is the wheel round. We have a wheel with 8 fandom categories on it, as well as spinners and opponent's choice. Each player will get a spin at the wheel. If they like what they spin the first time, they can keep it. Now they can choose to spin again, but they will be forced to keep what they spin the second time. You'll get 5 questions in the chosen category, each worth 2 points apiece, unless you like check down a multiple choice, at which point it'll only be worth 1. But be on the lookout as stealing is available in round number 2. Your categories on the wheel today are James Bond, MCU, Star Trek, Sci-Fi Icons, Wizarding World, Disney Animation, Epic Adventures, and Criminal Underworld. Joe, you are in the lead. Would you like to spin first or defer to Scully?
I mean,
yeah. Oh, we'll spin first. And also,
it's,
I
it's
don't-
a really good wheel. So yeah, we'll spin first.
Joe, this will be your first spin. Hands on MCU.
I think
Yeah,
you should take the. Yeah, great, cool. Thanks. I did something.
All right, Joe, I'll be giving you your questions in the category of the MCU. Are you prepared for them?
Yeah.
Your first question. Which MCU film features a character dying at a place called the Garden?
Avengers Endgame.
That is correct for 2 points. Your second question. Who plays the Tinkerer, the inventor of Adrian's weapons in Spider-Man Homecoming?
Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options are: is it A, Michael Chernus, B, Jermaine Clement, C, Jesse Plemons, or D, Ike Barinholtz?
Hey,
A is correct for 1 point. Your third question. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, why is Nebula not allowed to enter the High Evolutionaries lab with Peter and Groot?
her body is classed as a weapon.
That is correct for 2 points.
Just trying to word that. That was.
That's fair.
Her body's a weapon.
Joe, your penultimate
I'm sure
question.
Karen Gillan will be grateful.
Your penultimate question in the MCU. In Captain America, the First Avenger, how many times had Steve tried to enlist in the army before meeting Dr. Erskine?
That's hard because they're counting that as
5.
5.
4. That is correct for 2 points. All right, and Joe, your final question in the MCU. What is the name of the Celestial that Cersei is able to communicate with after Ajax's death in Eternals?
Arishem.
That is correct for 2 more points and the sweep of the MCU. Joe gets his score up to 16, Scully at 6. So we'll bring back the wheel. And Mr. Scully, this will be your first spin. Hands on Criminal Underworld. You have to keep it or spin again.
Spin again.
All right. This is your second spin. You have to keep what it lands on this time. It's going to be Sci-Fi Icons.
Cool.
All right, Scully, I'll be giving you your questions in the category of Sci-Fi Icons. Are you prepared for them?
Let's do it.
Your first question. A character had their mouth fused shut and a robotic bug planted in their stomach in which Sci-Fi Icons film?
Multiple.
All right, your multiple choice options are: is it A, Terminator Salvation, B, The Matrix, C, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, or D, Alien Resurrection?
Alien Resurrection.
It is incorrect. Joe, chance for the 1 point steal. Your options again are A, Terminator Salvation, B, The Matrix, C, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, or D, Alien Resurrection.
Matrix.
That is correct for the 1 point steal. Scully, your second question. Who plays the captain of the ship Betty in Alien Resurrection?
Ron Perlman.
Is incorrect. Joe, chance for the 2 point steal.
Oh, man.
Five, 4.
Michael Wincott.
That is correct for a 2 point steal.
Shit. I was
All
thinking
right,
of General
Scully,
Perez in my head. I guess I was wrong.
Scully, your third question. In 1984's Ghostbusters, Gozer blasts the team with lightning after Ray says no to what question?
Are you a god?
You say yes. That is correct for 2 points. All right, Scully, your penultimate question. In Back to the Future Part 2, Biff won his first $1 million betting on what kind of sporting event after receiving the almanac?
I believe it's a horse race.
That is correct for 2 points. All right, and Scully, your final question in Sci-Fi Icons. What is the name of the group of Transformers who follow Unicron in Transformers: Rise of the Beasts? 5, 4.
Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options are: is it A, Megatrons, B, Terrorcons, C, Democons, or D, Powertrons?
Terracons.
That is correct, and that was really hard to say all those in a row like that. But that'll end round number 2. Scully gets the score up to 11 with the steals. Joe is at 19. So we got an 8-point game going into round number 3. Here's how round number 3 is going to work. It is the betting round. We have 5 more questions in the realm of Fandom fights. Some players here the category. They can bet anywhere between 0 and 2 points on the question. If they get the question correct, they'll gain those points. If they get the question incorrect, they will lose those points. We will play until someone is mathematically eliminated or we have reached the end of the match. Players, any questions as we get into round number 3?
Let's do it.
All right, first category you can bet points on is mixed bag. Well, let's get bets starting with Joe.
1.
And Scully.
2.
All right, your question in mixed bag. What is the first thing Baloo tries to teach Mowgli how to do when they first meet in the Jungle Book?
Which one is it?
Do some math. Good. Okay, I got it. Math is done. Gotta get answers in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Start with Joe.
It's one of the 2. Raw.
And Scully.
Said scratches back on the tree.
Fight.
And your winner, Joe Farrelly. We were looking for fight.
Yeah.
Fight was the correct answer. So Joe locks up the match there. A great match it was, especially in round number 1. I think categories get flipped, and we have a much closer game going into the final round. I think Scully's a lot stronger and a lot of other things on the wheel. And I think he spun 2 newer categories that he probably just didn't want. And that's unfortunately how it went today. Joe was able to get a good steal and then what looked like a lucky steal, but he said the name and I was like, yeah, that's right. But you don't sound like you know that's right. At the end of the day, both fantastic players. Joe played a killer match. Scully played a killer match. Maybe there'll be a part 6. Who knows? This is officially, by the way, the second highest amount of times 2 people have played each other, with Joe and Brittany being the first. So maybe there's more to come. Let's find out. But let's see how the players feel in the post-match interviews. Scully, I've said this throughout the tournament that I think you had the right mindset coming into not only this year, but this tournament as well. You just looked like you were having more fun today. More fun than I've seen you have in the past. Now, granted, things took a downturn when he spun something he wanted and you spun something you seemed like you didn't want. And that sort of put the match out of reach. But I think you had the mindset going in that could have won you the match today if maybe the wheel went a little bit differently. How are you feeling about the match today? Your performance in the tournament, you had to beat 2 teams, including the number 1 ranked team, in order to get here. So there's definitely some good things to take away from this. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, some good stuff. But I mean, you're right. My mindset, the whole tournament is peek behind the curtain. I have not studied it in at least. I've not watched many Fandom films, not done a lot of prep. So because the first time I walked away, it was more so a reset of the mind, and I think now we're at the point where my mind and my body are telling me it's over. It's time. Like we're gonna, and I think this result proved it. That was the one thing on the wheel I really didn't want, and well, I got it. So
yeah,
call it divine intervention, call it whatever you want, but it's a sign that that this is the end of the road for real this time. So
that's
I'm
fair.
not saying it's for forever, but it's gonna be a long time before I step back in. So
Gotcha.
maybe
Well, listen,
forever,
Scully, you
maybe
before you
forever.
came back this year, you had obviously enough accomplishments to consider yourself one of the greatest to ever play the game. You got inducted to the Hall of Fame for a reason, and I think if anything, you've only added to that this year. You made it to the finals of another tournament. That's insane. You beat 2 teams in this first type of tournament we've ever done. I think, if anything, you showed people that you still got it. But if it's time to walk away, I think we all respect that and give you the heartiest of salutes, my friend. So,
Yeah.
any parting words?
No, I mean, it's been 5.5 years of amazing experiences, and met so many people along the way who I've had now the pleasure to call close friends. I mean, shit, who would have thought that 3 years ago Cody and I would be like this now? We hated each other, and now not a day goes by where we don't correspond or talk to each other.
Nice.
Granted, it's about baseball mostly, but
Of course.
Coho, Boatman, Holtzman, Spence, everybody else who's ever been in the Kingsman, and I guess now Rogue Nation, and it's been amazing. But I think for me, it's time to let other people shine, and I wanted to leave this year with no regrets, and I think I do have some regrets still, but the challenge is going to be living with that, and that's going to be the ultimate test. I think harder than any match I've ever played is kind of getting past that. So.
Sure.
If you're a player who's thinking about hanging it up or walking away, just know you're going to have regrets, and it's about how you respond to them that will get you through the day.
100%. Scully, I fully echo that as someone who used to play himself and who talks to Tim all the time. Like, there will always be unfinished business, but it's okay. It's really okay. At the end of the day, like I said, you're one of the greatest of all time. You're welcome around these parts anytime, whether it's as a player or just as someone who wants to contribute to the community or watch the matches or be involved in a bigger role either. We would obviously love to have you. But Scully, it's been an absolute pleasure. And you're one of the greatest. Joe Farrelly, good match, keeping your streak up. A couple of misses in round 1, but ultimately you picked back up right where you left off. Whatever the motivation is, I know you said it changed now. It's clearly working. You're doing very, very well. Spun something, took it right away. You just seem not that you haven't ever. You've always seemed confident when playing in matches like this, but it's like you've reached a new level of confidence, and that's a scary thing to go up against. So how do you feel about the match today, first and foremost?
Yeah, a bit of luck coming into it. The 3 misses round 1, a little bit annoying, and again, it's just those little annoyances. I was like, I think I can skip the bad guys, and then it comes up in round 1, and I miss it. Did just watch Ride or Die, but yeah, just their names just blanked. I thought, just blanked on the names. It happens. And funnily enough, I had a flashcard recently that was, what are the first 2 things Baloo tries to teach to Mowgli? And I know it's roar and fight.
Yeah, it is.
I was like, and I thought the roar, because I know he's fighting him when Bagheera turns up, so I thought maybe the roar attracts Bagheera, then he's fighting him, and then, but flipped it wrong way around. And the steal in round 2, I was trying to think of Dan Hedaya, who plays General Perez, and I couldn't remember his name, so I went, well, who else do I know that's in that movie? And I went with the filmography one because he's in Treasure Planet. I was like, I'll just go with Michael Wincott. It ended up being right. So again, that was luck because I didn't know another answer that I thought it was in my head. So that was a bit of luck on my part. MCU, I've just finished a rewatch, coming up to something that I'm sure by the time this airs is probably going to be in Fandom. Eligible, which I am really looking forward to watching and studying. Like I was with Ride or Die, I actually really enjoyed that film. But I will say for Scully as well, just to announce stepping back again. You're right, Hall of Famer for a reason, phenomenal player, and there's not bad word I could say about Scully.
Yeah, it's interesting too. I was thinking about this. You and I have a lot in common. We both started out with a loss to Thomas Scully that then motivated us to go on and do other things. So, if anything, Scully is an absolute staple. He's obviously one of the greatest to ever play, but he's also just like a staple in all of the other like greats that have ever played. Like he's a part of their story. So it's
my first
fitting.
not just the first loss, but the first title win, and and I think defense as well. So
yeah. And it's fitting that it ends like this. I'm happy for the guy. I'm sure you are too. But your story is not quite done. You will be moving on to the finals against, we can say now, and what will be another rematch. And quite frankly, there aren't many people where it wouldn't be a rematch for you at this point. But you will be playing against Tyler Birch. What was the semifinals of the singles tournament is now the finals of this tournament. And I got to say, you're looking scary. I've never seen Tyler the way he's playing right now. So I think we're in for a knockdown, drag out. Javi, quick thoughts on that matchup, and then Joe.
Yeah. This is gonna be a scary match. This finals is looking terrifying, especially because if you think about it, assuming Tyler loses in the finals, which I'm not saying he will or won't, he's immediately gonna get to another title shot, just because he's in a contender match and he's gonna beat me. So that's cool. I think, but I'm really excited about this. Joe played great. Obviously, Scully's a Hall of Famer. Fantastic. You all said it. The only thing was like you couldn't have let me win before you. It doesn't matter. But yeah, no, we love Scully. It's gonna be sad to see him go again, but Joe's just on a tear right now. So yeah.
Joe, you got Tyler. Thoughts?
I love Tyler. Watching his story has been phenomenal. I think we all pinpoint that Pixar moment a few seasons ago where he thought he was out, didn't know the answer, and hits that Pixar question, and just that's like that moment where he goes from a good player to a contender player. And I think it's difficult because I worked with Tyler when we were working with Duel of the Fates, with Rookie Mistake but he has also had a title, so it's also like you have done it. So I'm not, in the back of my mind, I'm not like, I really want you to win a title, man, because I did, and then he got one. So we're kind of on level footing. We've both had a title. We've both lost the title. We've both got to this point of the WOAT tournament. I think it's gonna be really close. You know, I'm probably losing that last match if it's not for that Sum of All Fears miss that he had. That I was down, and that's the question that flipped it. I always talk about it in every post-match interview. It's margins, and I don't think there's a finer margin right now than there is between me and Tyler.
Very true, Liz. I use this analogy probably too much, which is weird, but it's about to be in Fandom, so it's okay. The Jackie Chan, Jaden Smith Karate Kid movie. In the tournament, there's the like main villain guy. Not that either of you are villains, but like the main villain guy that's clearly the best. And then there's this like Mohawk guy who's just wrecking everybody. And they meet up in the semifinals. So if like Robert right now is the Karate Kid, Jade Smith, this feels like that epic matchup before the final matchup of the two guys that have just been like knocking everybody out, winning with it with ease the whole time. So I love matches like that. There's also a scenario like that in the movie Warrior, but now we're going too far with the metaphor. But I'm excited. I think this finals could be one of the most exciting we've ever seen. And Joe, if you keep playing like you did today, it very well could be yours. You could be challenging for the belt for the third time in one season, which
one of those has a caveat to it. Unless you're talking about, although teams, yeah. Okay.
Regardless, I don't think that's happened before. So crazy shit. But Joe, congrats on the win, and we'll see you in the finals.
Thank you, Nick.
And that'll do it for us. Thank you for joining us on this exciting episode of Fandom Fights. We got the finals set up. It's Joe versus Tyler 2 to see who will go on to play Robert. Good stuff. Be sure to check it out. It's coming up very, very soon. So thank you to Joe. Thank you to Scully. And absolutely, one more time, Scully, it's been an absolute pleasure. Wish you nothing but happiness in your retirement. And you're always welcome around these parts. But Joe, congratulations. We'll see you in the finals. Thank you to Javi. Thank you to Tim for editing this one. And thank you to all of you. Be sure to check out the exciting conclusion of the WOAT tournament next week on Fandom Fights.